This is the Mixtape podcast. I am your host, Mark. If you enjoy this week's episode, please feel free to rate it 5 stars wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can find over 140 archive episodes just by visiting themixtapepodcast.com. And there you will also find the link to my Mixcloud. On the Mixcloud channel, you can also hear the music that my guests pick for their mixtape. Also on the website are my social media links and YouTube channel. You can find all of that good stuff at themixtapepodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy this week's episode. That was Bike Beach Pub, the new single from RATSALAD. That's from their brand new album, Pest From The West. That's out on Friday, the 22nd of May. And I'm absolutely delighted to be joined for the second time on the mixtape by Jazz and Ken from the band. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having us.
I just had a big swig of Guinness, so I'm doing 10 out of 10 now, Mark.
Nice work, mate. Love it. I was looking up just now, just before we started. This is episode 157. You were episode 5 the first time around.
Whoa.
August 2023 that went out, that episode. So nearly 3 years later, two years and like 9 months later, yeah, we're back on again.
It's been a minute, mate, and a lot's been happening.
I know, yeah, it's been good, hasn't it? I looked at the title and it said, title of the podcast, one of the sentences was Wham Cowboys. And I was like, what does that mean? And then I remembered you dressed up as a cowboy at the Wham Awards and we were talking about that. So that's what I put in the title of the show. New album, Pest From The West. Stoked is coming out. It's out on Friday the 22nd. Loads of vinyl variants for pre-order, cassettes as well, which we always love to see on the mixtape. Talk to us about the album.
So we called it Pest From The West, right? Because we've never played Sydney. We're actually on track to play our second London show before we play Sydney or Brisbane once. So we wanted to call it Pest From The West to kind of be like, hey, wake up, rest of Australia. The Pest From The West is coming.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
And the singles, let's talk through the singles first of all. West Coast Highway, Jazz, why don't you talk about that one? Just pick you at random.
And Northwest Coastal Highway, that is a autobiographical number. It's a true story about when we were driving up to Carnarvon for a gig and it was stinking hot and we pulled up, I needed to pee, pulled up on the side of the road. Anyone that's driven to Carnarvon knows there's no trees or anything. So it's like, oh, well, just stuck behind the ute. Then Ken thought it'd be really funny to drive off and leave me there.
It's just like
It's funny. That is funny, Ken. Yeah.
In the barren desert, absolutely nothing for 50 kilometers in any direction. It's the straight of the road.
And of course, that's when another car comes past and it checks out my peeing butt. And then I was trying to run off and pull my pants up and peed all over myself.
So it was funny as when it was happening, but Jazz was so frosty for the next 50 kilometers into Carnarvon.
I was livid.
You suffer for your art sometimes. It's made a banner. Yeah.
Well, you got a song out of it, so it can't be that bad. That's it. Tune in, zone out as well. Now, trumpets and RATSALAD are not two sort of words that I would normally put together. Is it Felonious Punk? Do you know him? Is he a Gero trumpeter? How did you get to know him and how did he come to be playing on that track?
Well, we met him at Nana Music Festival 2 years ago when we first played it. And he is not a Gero guy at all. He's very musically trained. He'd blush, but I reckon he's got perfect pitch and he's, a consummate professional, but
So for some reason loves RATSALD.
he loves what we do and he loves Geraldton. And I think it was just like the Geraldton guy that was just born in the city. You know what I mean? So he's just a huge part of the live show that we've got coming up for the launches and for our Europe tour. Because he is mental on stage and his trumpet playing. He has retrofitted it into some of the old songs. It sounds sick.
It's really fun.
It's fantastic. When he came on stage at Nanup, I thought he was a stage invader. I thought he was just going to just stage dive or something like that. It's just some geezer. And then the trumpet came out. Brilliant.
So that's
Yeah, it sounds so good.
Yeah, no, he's phenomenal. And Tune In Zone Out, that trumpet bridge is really one of the biggest highlights of the whole album for me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounds fantastic, mate. It sounds fantastic. If you're launching the album Saturday, the 23rd of May at the Milk Bar, tickets are from link in bio, I'm imagining, at we_r_RATSALAD. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can find them there on Oztick website. It should be on track, touch wood, to sell out I think there's less than 100 left, and it's a 300-person room, so it's already set to be packed, and we still got another 9 days to sell tickets or whatever. So yeah, we'd love to sell out our very first ever headline show, and our album launch will be huge, and the lineup's sick. So Mark, if you haven't got your ticket, mate, I'll put you on the door.
I've already got tickets. Of course I have. You know I have. Straight up, mate. Hey, I was in there well early doors, mate. Thanks, I appreciate that. But yeah, no, I've already got tickets. Yeah, so me and Cara are coming. So I'm going out to Bricker, which is a restaurant in Perth, Greg restaurant, with some friends. There's like 4 couples, and they're going on to the Ellington afterwards for some jazz. And they were like, "Oh, do you want to come? Do you want to come to there?" And I was like, "No, I'm going to see RATSALAD, mate. No chance. Keep your culture. I'm going to see these lads. Yeah, no bother." Yeah, so 23rd. So who have you got supporting?
So we got Indigo Blaze supporting us. They're phenomenal. We got Blush, who they're friends we haven't quite met yet, and 10 Cent Tiger, who are old dear friends to us. So yeah, it's a real well-rounded lineup. Sort of the genres are just a little bit different. All of the realms are sort of guitar-based music, but it's pretty cool.
Something for everyone.
And you mentioned the tour earlier, the playing London. So you're heading straight off pretty much for your European tour after that?
Yeah, flying out on the 2nd. So got a couple of days to rest up, and then we're off. Yeah.
Sleep the hangover off, change the guitar strings, and then we're flying into Frankfurt for this festival. It's the first show of the tour. Unfortunately, is going to be possibly the biggest festival televised in German TV on the Eurovision network and Rockerplast or something like that. It's been down by 5 million viewership. So it sucks that we're going to be shitting ourselves.
Very smart.
Yeah, when we're still like first show of the tour, rusty and nervous, but at least we won't be 10 kilos heavier from drinking, beers every day for 3 weeks.
It's going to be fantastic. So anyone, any of our European or UK listeners, get across to we_r_RATSALAD and all the tour dates and stuff for there. Get out there if you can. Well, I've got a couple of random questions that I've just written down. Ken, have you learnt your lesson and stopped leaning your guitar up against your amplifier now?
No, I haven't.
I know. I knew you were going to say no. I bet he still does it.
Well, I've snapped that headstock 3 times, that same guitar, and I reckon once you get it fixed and reset, it's meant to be stronger than ever. So at a certain point, it's just going to start breaking the concrete. Like,
yeah. Like a broken bone, it heals better than before. Yeah.
it heals that.
Question for you, Jazz. Are you going to start putting warnings on your ticket sales for a heads up potential flying cans of emu?
I've been trying to stop myself from doing that, from launching beer cans out at the audience. But sometimes I just get excited and I forget, and I still do it.
I think the main thing is Jazz is trying to drink more of the beer cans, so it's less of a projectile, more of a floating object.
Yeah, you got to empty it and there's less damage.
You're listening to The Mixtape.
Right, so you're doing the B-side because you're 152 episodes since you did the mixtape A-side. So you're doing the B-side tracks. And the track 1 of the B-side is, what was the first song you ever learned to play or sing?
This one, we chose one that was the first song as RATSALAD, as a band, when we started jamming together. Me and Erica never really played in bands, so for us, this was a pretty memorable one. It was Dead Cat 3 Times by Grimsby. Yeah, used to flog that.
Yeah, we love playing that one, and absolutely, we totally ganked that riff for one of our early songs.
You can hear it in.
Yeah, you listen to the song Bloke, we still play it live pretty regularly, so definite homage to Dead Cat 3 Times by Grinners.
I interviewed Phil a couple of weeks ago. I haven't put it out yet, from Grinspoon. He's doing a solo thing. I think he's got like 40 or 50 shows around Australia. He's putting a solo album out. So, yeah, I got to have a quick chat with Phil the other week. So that one's coming out really soon. So, yeah, really looking forward to that one. Track 2, what's your favourite road trip song?
All right, so there's a Brisbane band called Radium Dolls, and they have a song and an album called Legal Speed. And it's just a cracking song with the most amazing cowbell at the start. And it's about not so much hitting the legal speed limit as it is doing legal speed in the way of like ecstasy, amphetamines, and that sort of stuff. But it is an absolute road trip classic. I reckon it's the only reason we got through our last year or two.
We played it at least 3 or 4 times every single day, probably 20 times.
Jumping in that van, the intro is just iconic.
Gets me pumped just thinking about it.
You must have like all sorts of like hours of playlists because you're back and forth from Gero to Perth a fair bit. How do you cope with that? Like as you know, as a family and as a band, like the amount of the sort of time you spend away.
We've actually finished Spotify. We've moved on to the Mixtape podcast.
There's plenty of them. There's 157 episodes to go, mate. So yeah, get in amongst it. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, track 3 of your mixtape. What's your favourite duet or collaboration?
For this one, we chose Laurie Myers by NoFX. I really love this song. It's the first kind of punk song that I heard a girl vocalist on that wasn't like sort of sing-songy, you know, like I was like, whoa, you don't have to be able to sing like Hayley Williams to like sing in a punk song. This is sick. I was hell inspired by it and yeah, I love it.
Track 4. What's your favourite track from a live album?
We chose this one. Well, Erica helped us with this. This is Erica's one. It's her favorite band, Alexis on Fire. This one's Happiness by the Kilowatt from their live album. It's a long one, but it's sick. It does a little
Wait, Marge.
yeah, it
Prince.
goes into Prince for a couple of minutes and then comes back to finish the song.
It's about 13 minutes long.
All right, track 5. What is your go-to track for a gym, workout, or hype-up song?
This is me. I chose Duality by Slipknot. I just get so pumped up when this comes on at the gym. I'm ready to just go hard.
Run through walls when
Yeah.
shit comes on.
Basically, any Slipknot song will get you fired up.
Fantastic choice. I'm sure that's going to sit well with the first hour of Beach Boys tracks that we're going to be playing on tonight's show. There ain't many shows that do that. Beach Boys to Slipknot. You wouldn't see that anywhere else. And finally, pick a song from a WA band.
We're going with Grub, who sing the song Floor. We've got to play sets alongside Grub a few times now, and they're so phenomenal. And this song's just brings house down. Seen it most recently at Nat Up, and it was sick. So Floor by the band Grub. I think based in Freo.
It's an earworm. It always gets stuck in my head.
It's an ear grub.
In the ear grub.
Second week running, that's been chosen.
Oh, really?
I spoke
We can
to
pick
Zoe from Post Nut Clarity was on the show last week, and she chose that as well for her mixtape. Yeah, so shout out Grub. Yeah, I've interviewed Matilda, but that was for Black Swan White Noise. But I definitely do need to get them on the mixtape as well. I saw them a couple of weeks ago with the Kill Devil Hills at Mojo's. Fantastic, so good. I love Grub, but they were great at Nanup as well. Yeah, they were the only band I saw twice, I think, in Nanup, apart from you and Post Nut Clarity. Yeah, that was so good.
Too. They're phenomenal, and they just had a new song out, I think.
Who was that? Sorry, who was that? I missed that one.
Oh, Post Nut Clarity. Just dropped a new one.
Oh mate, they are so good. That how good is that song? Like with the Spam, that is just brilliant, mate. Like, absolutely love that. I managed to get it out of them 2 days before it come out because I was like, look, I've got to pre-record the show. It's got to go. I've got to have it by like Sunday, but it didn't come out till this week. So I managed to like get them to send me the Google Drive of it like a few days before it come out. So I was like, oh yeah, it's got it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a quick 5-5. These are all around touring and playing live. Do you have a pre-show ritual?
Yeah, Skull of Beer.
Skull of Beer and high five, everyone.
And launch the can into the crowd. What is the weirdest thing on your tour rider?
The weirdest thing in our tour rider.
Oh, towels. I guess it makes heaps of sense, but it feels weird. Me like we need 6 towels.
I mean that's the real thing. The weirdest thing that I would have made up in the wire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 1 tin of enamel paint, color eggshell white,
And 20 boiled eggs as well.
Is that for the repair on the neck of the guitar, that paint?
Yeah, definitely.
Ever had any onstage disasters? The amount of acrobatics you do, you must have come a cropper or gone over on your ass a few times, surely.
There's been times when like I've sort of, gone to do a roll or a cartwheel or something and I've kicked someone up, like my guitar's gone out of tune, I've knocked over a cymbal.
Jazz was trying to roll over my back and she was getting caught halfway, so I tried to give her a bit of a helpful nudge, off the bottom of my spine, and instead of sending her to the right where she's meant to go, I send her forward off the stage.
Off the stage.
Oh dear, that's brilliant. What is your favourite city to play live?
Ooh.
Geez, Fremantle, of course, but if we're being honest, Munich.
Yeah, Hanover was really fun actually, and we're going back there again.
Okay, so anywhere in Germany, because they don't stop the beers and they're all about 6%. And I think because English isn't their first language, you can get as pissed as you want, slur all the words, and they don't really notice.
And finally, in the quick fire 5, if you could time travel to any concert in history, which concert would you choose?
This is one that we only just narrowly missed, but I would love to see the hardcore band Title Fight in New York City. They broke up, I think, when I was about 21, and I rue the one chance I had to see them in Perth and I missed it. So Title Fight, New York City.
Excellent. I don't know if I might have even have asked it of you. Did I ask you a question about James Brown and the Verve when you were on before? Do you remember? You probably don't remember, do you? So one of the questions I used to ask people, this is like a real world like sort of scenario, but I went to a music festival once and the headliners were clashing, and the Verve, you know the Verve, do you know the Verve?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Man.
So yeah. So the Verve would, like, it was well publicised, like they were splitting up, like it's their last but one show ever. I think they were playing Slane Castle in Dublin the next weekend or something, and that was it. They were finishing, and it was them or James Brown in the dance tent, 74-year-old James Brown, and I was like, I've got to see the Verve because they're splitting up. Like I know they're splitting up and that's it. Like, and I didn't want it to be like the Smiths where like I missed the opportunity and that's it. Like they're never ever going to get back together. So I went with the Verve. My best mate went with James Brown. And about 6 months later, James Brown died. And then about 2 years after that, the Verve got back together. And I was like, oh, absolutely devo. But it was a great show anyway. Yeah. But yeah, that's that. Like you just get that FOMO of like, I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to have that fear of like, oh, I missed it and I never get the chance to see him again. To get validation on my choice, I used to ask people like, what would you do? And literally 100% of people said James Brown. And I stopped asking the question in the end because I weren't getting what I wanted out of it.
Or can I tell you, we were over in Birmingham 2 days before Ozzy Osbourne's final ever gig, and we didn't realize, like, I think it was pretty pre-planned with his assisted death and all that sort of stuff. It was going to be absolute last gig, but we didn't know that. And we were actually thinking, oh, you know, it's Ozzy's big gig, and who knows if he'll play again? Should we rebook our flights home and see it? We're like, nah. But if I knew he was going to bloody kick it 2 weeks later, that's when that would sit with me for a while.
Devo, absolutely Devo. All right, I got a new game. You might have seen it. I played it with Angie Coleman last week.
Angie Coleman, our new song that comes out tomorrow, has got Angie Coleman vocal feature in it.
You never mentioned that when I spoke to her.
It's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it's sick. And we even got her to do some yelling as well.
Fantastic. Oh, that's so good. All right, so you're familiar with the concept of the game Kiss, Marry, Avoid, I take it, right? You know that, right? So this is a musical twist on that. This is collab, tour, or diss, right? So I'll give you 3 band names. You got to collab on a songwriting track with one of them. You got to go on tour with one of them, and the other one you got to write a diss track about. All right. So I was struggling about what bands to pick, and then you sort of put it on a plate for me earlier on. So the 3 bands you've got are Indigo Blaze, 10 Cent Tiger, or Blush.
The thing with that is, I don't know which band I want to diss the most. I mean, theirs be so easy. Like, I would love to diss 10 Cent Tiger, you know, Strengths and Nerd, Easy, you know, Indigo Blaze. I could take them all in a fight, no worries. Blush, you know, they look really lovely, but
We haven't really met them yet, so we can't.
diss them as well. But if I had to pick one, if I could only pick one to diss, it would be, I'd have to diss Indigo Blaze.
Yeah, I was saying collab, Blush, tour with 10 Cent Tiger, and diss Indigo Blaze.
All right.
Because I think they'd be hell fun about it, and we could start a whole big like diss battle.
All right, RATSALAD, Pest From The West, a new album is out Friday the 22nd of May. You can pre-order through link in bio, we_r_RATSALAD. P Records website as well, you can get it.
Here in Europe, you can get it from SBAM Records or Lockjaw in the UK, or you can get it from High End Denim if you're in North America.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to my green and gold vinyl arriving very, very soon. Buzzing for that. Can't wait for that. I nearly went with more, but I was like, I got 2 copies of the first album. Like, I can't be that guy who just, it goes for every variant of every copy. Yeah, so I just went with the True Blue Aussie green and gold because I am a True Blue Aussie, as you know. Yeah. Good luck with the album. Can't wait to see you. So I'll come and say hello at the launch night at the Milk Bar. Good luck on tour, safe travels and all that, and come back safe, and I will see you when you get back. Cheers.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
So much for having me.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's mixtape. If you would like to get more
From The Mixtape. You can catch up with over 150 archive episodes by visiting themixtapepodcast.com. Also there you'll find links to the YouTube channel, my social media pages and my Patreon if you would like to get even more content that doesn't go out on the radio show or the podcast. You can secure your Mixtape backstage pass. All of those links are available at themixtapepodcast.com. You've been listening to The Mixtape and I've been your host, Mark. Until next time.